Have you ever noticed how your mind can betray you even when you're trying your hardest to stay positive? How one thought can spiral into hours of worry, fear, or regret, and yet, in the same instant, a single shift in perspective can transform mood, your day, even your life. You might think mastery over your mind is reserved for monks, billionaires, or gurus on mountaintops, but here's the secret: it's not. Every single person reading these words already has the key. You just don't realize it yet. Most people spend decades chasing control over circumstances, money, health, relationships, while ignoring the one thing that truly shapes their experience, their own thoughts. Imagine holding a remote control for every thought, every emotion, every reaction, and pressing play only on what serves you. Sounds impossible. That's exactly what most of us are conditioned to believe. Here's the truth that almost nobody tells you. Your mind is not your enemy. It's a loyal servant, but a servant that must be trained. And like any form of training, mastery begins with awareness. You must notice the whispers of doubt before they become screams of despair. You must catch the subtle lies you tell yourself before they become habits. Now, close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, if I could control every thought that shapes my life, what would I create? Hold that question in your mind. Feel the tension, the curiosity, the discomfort. That feeling, that mix of anticipation and uncertainty is exactly what your brain needs to start the transformation. It's called the retention trigger, the invisible thread that keeps you leaning in, ready to discover how mastery works. Because in the next moments, where we're going to explore the hidden patterns your mind follows, the subtle ways it's sabotaged you, and the practical steps you can take to reclaim control. And by the end of this journey, the person you become won't just react to life, they'll craft it deliberately, consciously, and powerfully. So if you're ready to stop letting your mind run the show and start directing it instead, stay with me. This is where your transformation begins. If part one planted the seed of curiosity, part two is where the roots begin to grow. Because here's the truth, your mind is a labyrinth full of patterns you barely notice, and most of them are running on autopilot. Think about it. How often do you react before you think? How often does a negative thought seem to appear out of nowhere, steering your mood, your day, your decisions? And yet, those thoughts are not magic, they are habits wired over decades. Every worry, every self-doubt, every I can, it's a habit. And habits, no matter how entrenched, can be rewritten. But rewriting your mind requires more than willpower. That's a myth sold by self-help books and flashy seminars. Willpower is just the spark. Transformation comes from understanding the mechanics of your thoughts. Here's a simple way to see it. Imagine your mind as a garden. Thoughts are seeds. If you leave the weeds of doubt and fear unattended, they'll overrun the flowers of positivity and control. But if you plant carefully, water intentionally, and remove what harms growth, your mind becomes fertile ground for transformation. Here's something most people overlook. Not all thoughts deserve your attention. Some are mere echoes of the past or predictions of a future that doesn't exist yet. The moment you distinguish between what serves you and what sabotaged you is the moment you reclaim power. Now, here's a subtle exercise. It only takes a minute, but it begins rewiring your mind. Notice a recurring negative thought. Ask yourself, is this thought true or just a story I've been telling myself? Pause before reacting. Imagine stepping back, observing the thought like a cloud passing through the sky. This simple awareness is revolutionary. It's the bridge between unconscious reaction and conscious creation. And when repeated, it creates a new neural pathway, a path to mastery. In the coming moments, we'll dive into the 3 invisible levers your mind responds to every day. These levers decide whether you feel trapped or free, powerless or in control. most people never notice them, and that's why they remain at the mercy of fleeting moods and external chaos. But you are about to learn what most never will. And when you do, nothing, and I mean nothing, can make your mind a prison again. By now, you're beginning to sense that your mind isn't just a backdrop, it's the director of your life. But knowing that isn't enough. You need to see it in action to understand the patterns that separate those who control their reality from those who are controlled by it. Consider someone who seems to glide through challenges effortlessly, maintaining calm, clarity, and positivity no matter what life throws at them. They're not lucky. They've mastered the same mind that overwhelms most people daily. They've learned to observe thoughts without surrendering to them. Here's what sets them apart. They treat thoughts as tools, not truth. Every thought is like a brushstroke. They decide which colors to use, which to ignore. They embrace discomfort. When fear, doubt, or uncertainty arises, they don't run. They watch, they analyze, and they redirect. They act consciously. Decisions are made deliberately, not impulsively, guided by a long-term vision instead of fleeting emotion. And here's the twist: you don't need a fortune, fame, or a secret mentor to do the same. All it takes is practice and self-observation. Let's try another simple exercise. A step deeper than before, identify one limiting belief that shows up repeatedly. Trace its origin. Where did this idea come from? Childhood, past failure, someone else's expectation. Challenge it out loud. Say, this belief is not necessarily true. I have the power to choose differently. Notice how that feels. That small act, questioning a thought, plants the seed for a profound internal shift. Do it consistently, and the mind that once dictated your life begins to follow your direction. Here's the mystery: your mind craves patterns. If you feed it fear, it grows. Feed it clarity, positivity, and conscious choice, and it transforms. People around you may notice the difference before you do. They'll see someone more composed, more focused, more unstoppable. Soon, you'll recognize that the mind is not just something to manage, it's a power source. And the more you understand its hidden levers, the more effortless life becomes, even in the face of chaos. Up until now, you've learned that the mind can betray you, that awareness is the first step, and that conscious action separates those who thrive from those who drift. But there's a hidden layer few ever discover, a layer that can instantly shift how you feel, think, and act. These are the three invisible levers of mind mastery. Lever 1, awareness. The first lever is noticing without judgment. Every thought, emotion, or impulse is like a signal from your inner world. Most people ignore these signals, letting them control behavior. But when you observe them, the mind's power over you diminishes. Awareness is the foundation. Think of it as turning on the lights. In a dark room, you can't fix what you can't see. Lever 2, reframing. The second lever is reframing your perspective. I think I do this is not a verdict, it's a question. Reframing asks, what if I can? What can I learn from this? It transforms obstacles into opportunities, anxiety into curiosity, and doubt into fuel. Reframing rewires your mind to work with you, not against you. Lever 3, action alignment. The third lever is align action. Thoughts alone don't change lives, behavior does. But alignment is crucial. Action must match your highest intention, your long-term vision. Small steps, taken consistently, create momentum. And when your actions are aligned with your awareness and reframe perspectives, mastery isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Here's a simple exercise to engage all three levers at once. Awareness, identify a recurring negative thought. Reframing, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How could this thought serve me instead of limit me? Action alignment, take one small action today that reflects your reframed thought. Notice the subtle shift. The tension in your chest eases, your mind feels lighter. And the more you practice, the more automatic this process becomes until mastery isn't a struggle, but your natural state. Now imagine carrying this control into every area of your life: relationships, health, finances, even moments of stress or uncertainty. The mind that once dictated your reality now becomes your most loyal ally. All the insights, exercises, and hidden levers we've explored so far led to one undeniable truth. Mastery over your mind isn't about eliminating thoughts, it's about directing them with purpose. Every day, your mind produces thousands of thoughts. Most are automatic, most are habitual, most are invisible. But you now hold the key: awareness, reframing, and aligned action. Use these tools consistently, and a life that once seemed chaotic, confusing, or out of reach suddenly begins to follow your design. Here's the ultimate mindset shift. Your mind reflects your choices, not your circumstances. You can always control what happens outside, but the inner world is yours to shape. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose differently, to respond consciously, and to create the reality you desire. Think about it. The challenges you faced last year, last month, even yesterday. What if you had been able to pause, observe, and respond from mastery rather than reaction? How different would your life be? That's the power you now start to cultivate. And here's a practical reminder: mastery is not an endpoint, it's a journey. Daily practice, reflection, and mindful action keep your mind sharp, resilient, and free. The more you commit, the more automatic mastery becomes, until controlling your mind is no longer effortful, but natural. If you want to take this journey even further, I highly recommend watching the next video: Self-Determination, Theory versus External Goals. It explores how personal development, mindset, and motivation are shaped by the goals you set and how to align them with your inner drive for lasting change. Remember, growth doesn't happen by accident. You choose it. You direct. And the first step is deciding, I will master my mind starting now. So subscribe to Wisdom Recorder, your daily source of insight and transformation, and hit like if you're ready to take control of your mind. Because your thoughts are powerful, and now so are you.